inconsistent.
Yeah, and we thought that Spurs had finally cracked it, found that right balance, but this afternoon we see right back to square one. And who thought Brighton would have such a big influence on the top 4 spot?
Or top 2.
Yeah.
City next week, you never know.
City at the weekend. Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you look at the run of results they had, and then you look at the fixture list, and you think we go into the Emirates, we come to Spurs, and then they go into Manchester City. You think, it's daunting. But then you turn out the first 2 games, you've got 6 points. It just shows. I think sometimes Brighton are probably more suited to playing the top sides.
OK, well, let's get some instant reaction then to that Brighton win. The skipper, Lewis Dunk, and the goal scorer, Leandro Trossard, are with Des Kelly.
Absolutely right, Leandro. What a lovely finish in every sense. The goal and, of course, the result.
Yeah, of course. It was a really, really tough game. And, yeah, to win it at the end, yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great side. Tottenham, and, yeah, back at the back of Arsenal to win here as well. Yeah, it feels great for us.
Yeah, you felt that you deserved it this afternoon, yeah?
Yeah, I think we did. First half was... not that we created a lot of chances, but I think second half we were much better and we created some chances as well. And yeah, I think it's a deserved win for us.
And Lewis, the resilience and the concentration, that all set the platform for that win at the end.
It did, yeah. The game plan was, we executed perfectly. You could hear the crowd getting frustrated, the other team getting frustrated, and that's what we came here to do. Yeah, and that's what...
You can see why Eric Dyer has gone that way. He's trying to block the one into the far corner, but it was so sharp and done so quick by Trossard. A player who's scoring a couple of goals in recent weeks, feeling confident. It just happened so fluid and quick, and before you know it, it's past Lloris.
I think that probably epitomised the belief growing throughout. They mentioned coming to big stadiums and frustrating the crowd, frustrating the players, and that belief grew throughout the game, didn't it? And then obviously culminated in that finish.
Well, that lovely finish from Leandro Trossard means it's been another brilliant watching with me, Jermaine Jenas and Glenn Murray. And Jermaine, did they really deserve that today, Brighton?
100%. They were the better team. They were much more energised, I thought, in the game. And I think the biggest thing, they came in with a plan and they executed it to perfection. Whether it was the battle in midfield, how Lewis Dunk and that defensive line handled Son, Kulusevski and Kane. I mean, Spurs had no shots on target today. They've gone from scoring 3, 4, 5 games like free flowing. And I think one of the biggest things I could see in the game today was there was no space really anywhere on the pitch, which tells you that the way that Brighton were moving was really efficient. But because usually you see Spurs running in behind, Harry Kane in the hole. There was just nowhere really for anybody to operate today. So just massive credit to Brighton. It was a bit of a scrappy game. It wasn't a brilliant game, but they stayed in it. They frustrated Spurs, and then when they needed to capitalise, they did exactly that.
Because we talked before the game about the effect of the runs from the Spurs wing-backs and the accuracy of the crosses, but we didn't see that today, Glenn.
Well, I think we didn't see that because Brighton got tight into the midfield and didn't let them get on the half-turn. And when you're not getting the half-turn and you've started the runs, you stop doing them because the ball's not coming. So it's just a sort of knock-on of effect of flooding that midfield, basically.
And it's credit to Bryce, and we can hear from their manager now. Graham Potter is with Des.
Graham, congratulations. What a week, what a result. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an understatement. Performance was fantastic. The players, to a man, were exceptional. I thought real understanding of what we were trying to do, and then to pop up with the goal at the end was an amazing day for us in front of our supporters. I thought it was I didn't think it was a lucky win. I thought we deserved the win, and in that way, I'm really, really proud of the players.
The way you tactically set up that cut the supply line to Kane and Son, and that sets up the big finish then. That worked perfectly for you as well.
Well, the guys put in a hell of a shift. I think you have to be, as I said before the game, you have to understand that they're a good side. We're all over the pitch, and to try to stop the source into their attacking players that are legendary in terms of Premier League status, they can blow teams away fairly quickly. So we had to be strong in that area and try our best to do it. I mean, I thought the guys did it really, really well. Danny Welbeck came on showing absolutely no ego at all. He's part of a win against Arsenal, accepted his role off the bench today, which says a lot about him as a man. And I thought he was amazing when he came on, and as a team we were superb.
Yeah, breaking up the rhythm, but Brighton were asking all the questions pretty much, weren't they?
Well, it felt like we had good control, and that's not easy to do here. I mean, it's a hot day, and you've got some young players out there that are adapting to the Premier League, that are getting better with all the experiences they have. And like I said, I don't think it was a smash and grab, a 1-0 win from our perspective. I thought it was a really, really good performance, and one that we can all be really proud of.
Mwepu, at half-time he came out. Was that because he was in danger of getting a second yellow, or was it tactical?
A bit of both. Tactical as well. We thought that they might go a little bit longer in the second half, so to use Danny's attributes. So that was just a decision.
And you've beaten 2 Champions League contenders in the same week. I mean, you look like a side that knows what they're doing, but relaxed as well. You're under no pressure.
Well, as I said before the game, we had a period where we had to suffer because we didn't win, and when you don't win, the world can cave in pretty quickly, especially in this league. But we stayed strong and stayed resolute to what we're trying to do. We had a good international break, good performance against Norwich, and built on that with 2 wins here. We like our visits to London. We've done quite well here.
Well done, Graham.
Thank you.
Yeah, Graham Potter, proud of every single player today. Was that a Graham Potter masterclass today, Glenn?
Yeah, it was, and that's something that he tries to do every week, working hard in the training ground. Like he says, he gives all the credit to the players. They stopped the supply, and it was a tactical sort of the tactical plan worked to a man. He said that everyone worked extremely hard.
And they're just 1 win away now, Jermaine, from a record points tally in the top flight. How big an achievement would that be?
No, he's a manager that is just taking a club from strength to strength. His recruitment is good. His style of football is good. We said it at the start of the show, which is why I said I won't have any talk about Graham Potter and his job. I know it's gone away, but there was a time during the season on this poor run where people were questioning him, and I'm thinking, Brighton fans need to remember, to an extent, need to understand that this guy is about to achieve something historical with this football club, and with performances and results now. You're almost lucky to have him, in my opinion. So I think that he'll go back into the market again. He'll make them stronger. He'll make them better. Maybe he might lose 1 or 2. But Brighton are going to be one of those teams in the Premier League with Graham Potter that are going to go from strength to strength. And that is a mark of the man that they have.
Let's look at that game plan a bit more then, Glenn. Why was that midfield so effective in stifling Spurs?
Well, we've seen Spurs, as we often see, is Kane dropping in and trying to get on the...
This team still can't play poorly and win a game of football. It's easy winning games of football when you're playing well, but the best teams and the biggest teams, they can win games in an ugly way. How
does he get them to be able to do that then? Is that a mentality thing?
It's coming.
That's what he's been working on.
I feel like it's coming. You don't want to go over the top with one result. It was a poor performance. Anyone can have a poor performance. There's no doubt that they're building more resilience. The defence is becoming stronger. Obviously, everything about Tottenham is becoming a lot more difficult to beat, which is why they are where they are. But I was watching it today, and you just always felt like Brighton might just nick it. And when that ends up happening, it's just something to go back to the drawing board for the team and try and come out, of it better in the week or next week when the next game is.
It was starting to feel like Antonio Conte's sort of fingerprints were all over this team. Is that a bit of a reminder today that they are still a team in transition?
Yeah, it's a small reminder. I think we've got to take the emotion out of the afternoon and remember that Spurs have scored 13 goals here in 3 games, and that's some feat to do that. This is a blip in the road for them, I believe, and I think it's probably going to be a positive for them in the long run. Conte he'll be telling them what's what down there, won't he? And he'll be reminding them there's still a long way to go, guys. We're on this road together, and I'm sure we'll see them bounce back much stronger, fighting for that 4th space.
Do you think that it could be another wake-up call like that Burnley game when he said maybe he wasn't the right man to take them forward?
You need it sometimes as a player. Things have been going so great. A lot of things have been going their way in terms of decisions and stuff. It was just a sloppy performance that I think they can put to the back of their minds and then make sure they go out there and achieve what they're trying to achieve come the end of the season.
Well, let's see what Antonio Conte made of that defeat today. He's with Des.
Antonio, that was a frustrating afternoon. Probably not the performance level that you want or expect.
A difficult game, but we knew this, and I had seen the game against Arsenal, and we know what could happen today on the tactical aspect. It was a game very tactical on one side and the other side, and I think maybe at the end a draw was the more fair final result, but at the end if Brighton won the game, and they deserve to win. But it was for sure a difficult game for us.
Did you start too slowly? Did you lack a bit of intensity? Is that all these all the things you're saying in the dressing room right now?
Yeah, and we started very slowly, and in this type of game, when I repeat a tactical game, and you have to move the ball more quickly, and then you have to try to find the right space, and then to attack the goal. Today we did everything too slow, and maybe the weather, the spring, yeah, and I want to find an excuse, but for sure not a good game for us.
Yeah, and Tottenham have been scoring freely recently, not a shot on target today. That's a big contrast. That shows the scale of the problem today.
Yeah, but I said to you before, and it was a tactical game, and Brighton was very good to close every space. And at the same time, to try also to have a good counter attack, and to move the ball more quickly than us in possession. Yeah, but for sure, this type of game, when you understand that you can't win, and you have not to lose.
There's still plenty of football.
Yeah, this is a lesson for us to learn after this game. There are many games when you understand that it's not your day, that you have to pay more attention, and don't lose.
Thanks, Antonio.
Thank you very much.
Spurs showing they are still susceptible to an off day when it really matters. What sort of lift now does that give Arsenal preparing for that game against Southampton in about 10 minutes?
It would give them a huge lift. It was an opportunity for Spurs to really lay down a marker, create a 6-point gap, and ask the question of Spurs. But they've given them a real incentive going into that game. But as we've seen with Arsenal over the last couple of weeks, Spurs today, they can slip up. Southampton had a really tough going over by Chelsea. And they're going to be inspired today as well. So it's going to be a tough game for them, but there's no doubt they got the inspiration that they needed from this game today because of a great performance from Brighton.
Glenn, quickly, who finishes fourth?
Oh, you've done that to me. I think
about where you are, Glenn.
Yes, no, I think they recover. I think this, like I said, I think this is a positive for Spurs. I think it'll get them back on track, and I think they've got definitely enough firepower to finish in that fourth spot.
I don't even need to ask you, Jermaine. Thank you very much, guys, for your company, and thanks again for joining me on the Skywalk. I really appreciated that. That is it from us at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. There is much more to come, though, with BT Sports Score, so I'll hand you over to Daryl and Jules. Have a good afternoon.